7 Most Haunting Cryptids.
Hey guys, channel takeover time from the one and only Crypto Queen. Thanks Epic Wildlife for getting things warmed up, but for all your cryptic, creepy, demented delights, take a peek at my channel, Crypto Queen. Number 7, the Dover Demon. Sightings of this bizarre creature were reported in April of 1977. While driving, a teenager claimed to see a large-eyed creature with tendril-like fingers sitting atop a stone wall in Dover, Massachusetts. Additional sightings of the creature were reported soon after. Its description is similar to that of a gray ET-type alien. It stood around 3.5 feet tall, had a slender body with a large head and eyes that glowed orange or green. While bipedal, it also walked on all fours. Despite the similar appearance to the Greys, the Dover Demon doesn't seem to be associated with UFOs, and it doesn't seem to have stuck around either. Sightings occurred over a short time span and seem to have ceased. Some claim the Dover Demon was actually a lost baby moose, which would account for the creature being seen on all fours. Others contend it was a mutation. Number 6, the ENFIELD monster. This is considered to be one of the strangest creatures in all of cryptozoology. Sightings of this cryptid occurred in Enfield, Illinois in 1973. It started when a young boy was playing in his backyard and claimed to see a strange-looking beast. It was described as standing around 4.5 feet tall. It was gray-skinned with a squat body, 3 legs, 2 short arms, and pink eyes, the size of flashlights. It stepped on the child's tennis shoes, tearing them to shreds, then scurried off when the boy started crying. Harry McDaniel, a neighbor, encountered the beast later that night. When it tried to break into his home, McDaniel fired at it with his .22 caliber pistol. Although he claimed to hit the monster with 4 shots, it didn't seem effective. It turned and disappeared into the night, taking 3 amazing leaps to cover an area of some 50 feet. Authorities later found scratch marks on the front door and dog-like prints with 6-toe pads. Additional sightings were reported over the next 2 weeks, but since that time, no sightings of the monster have been made in over 4 decades. Number 5. Spring-heeled Jack. You have to go back to Victorian England in 1837 to find the first claimed sighting of this cryptid. He was described by witnesses as having clawed hands and fiery red eyes. He was also said to be tall and thin and wore a black cloak, giving him the demeanor of a gentleman. However, he didn't act accordingly. Spring-heeled Jack was known to assault women. As his list of victims grew, so did his infamy. Daily newspapers, the Times, spread the legend as they reported the incidents. His ability to make incredible leaps led him to become the subject of many works of fiction. Some of his victims claimed he could vomit blue and white flames from his mouth and had claws made of metal. Sightings were reported all over England and in Scotland, but as his legend grew, sightings became fewer. Reports of Spring-heeled Jack seemed to taper off around 1904, but there have been reports of a similar character in England that have continued into the 21st century. No one was ever caught and identified as Spring-heeled Jack, although there's plenty of speculation, including that he might have been an extraterrestrial. Number 4. Pope Lick Monster. This legendary creature is said to be part man, part goat, and part sheep. It is said to live beneath a railroad trestle bridge over Pope Lick Creek in Louisville, Kentucky. It's thought to have been exploited as a circus freak. Other stories contend that it's the reincarnated form of a farmer who gained satanic powers in exchange for sacrificing goats. Why not? According to various sources, the creature uses hypnosis or voice mimicry to attract trespassers to the bridge, just in time to be run over by an oncoming train. It's said to emit a blood-curdling scream when attacking its victims, and will jump from the bridge onto the roof of cars passing underneath. The monster's legend has made the area a popular destination for amateur cryptozoologists. But because the bridge is still in use, heavy freight trains pose a substantial risk for would-be paranormal investigators. Norfolk Southern Railway, which owns the bridge, erected an 8-foot fence to keep out thrill-seekers. Not that the precautions seem to be working. Earlier, in 2016, a 26-year-old woman was hit by a train while searching for the Pope Lick monster. Number 3. The LOVELAND frogmen. They are said to be bipedal, amphibian-type creatures that stand around 3 feet tall. They were first reported in 1955 Early one morning, a businessman spotted, he said they had leathery skin and webbed hands and feet, and unmistakably frog-like heads. In 1972, a police officer claimed he nearly ran into one of these creatures when it darted in front of his cruiser. It jumped over a guardrail and disappeared into the Ohio River. The officer's description of the creature was a match with the businessman's. Another police officer, Mark Matthews, had a similar encounter. His description of the frogman was identical to those that preceded it. Since then, Mr. Matthews has claimed that it wasn't a frog-faced creature he encountered. He believes it was actually a large pet lizard that escaped from its owner. Whatever they were, no sightings of the Loveland frogmen have been reported since. Number 2. Men in Black. We're not talking about the movies with Will Smith. These are the real Men in Black. According to cryptozoologists, anyway, they're the strangers that favor that monochrome attire and ensure that the truth stays out there. The MIB have been popping up since 1947, when a UFO witness was approached by a man in a dark suit and warned not to talk about the experience. They were reportedly seen following the Mothman sightings and the Dover Demon sightings as well. Since then, these peculiar gentlemen have been active in suppressing stories of almost anything related to UFOs and extraterrestrial activity. In fact, some people think the Men in Black might be aliens themselves. They're said to exhibit otherworldly behavior, such as trying to drink Jell-O. Okay, now that is pretty weird. While they operate in the shadows, the Men in Black don't seem too worried about any unwanted attention brought about by these popular films. Number 1. Mothman. This cryptid was named Mothman by newspapers, but he doesn't really resemble the insect. It's said to stand around 7 feet tall and has wings that can reach a span of 15 feet or more and can fly over 100 miles per hour. His coloration varies from black, gray, or brown, and some descriptions state it has 2 large red glowing eyes set in its chest. First recorded sighting of this creature took place in November 1966 near Clendenin, West Virginia. More encounters with the Mothman were reported near Point Pleasant. In one incident, the creature supposedly flew after a car in a high-speed race down the highway. More than 100 sightings were reported in Point Pleasant over the next 13 months. Those strange sightings seemed to culminate on December 15, 1967, when the Silver Bridge collapsed, killing 46 people. That led to speculation that the Mothman sightings were somehow connected to the tragedy. You can see in this picture where a creature was thought to have been photographed atop the Silver Bridge. Do you think the Mothman could have been real? Be sure to cruise over to Crypto Queen. We've got some great new stuff, like 10 shocking mythical discoveries. Come check it out.